This holiday season, we are sharing our favorite and most meaningful stories. One of them emerged from a program at North Hennepin Community College. As Delane Cleveland explains, the North Hennepin program shows a person's life doesn't have to be defined by their darkest moment.
We're well established. We have a good reputation in the community.
Nearly 4,700 students attend North Hennepin Community College. About 120 are enrolled in the paralegal program.
We have a very diverse set of students.
Sean Woodbury is an attorney who also serves as one of the paralegal instructors.
Thankfully, there's a lot of work in the industry. There are a lot of things to do. And there are a lot of different sorts of environments that our students can find something hopefully that fits what they're looking for.
I really believe in the value of education.
Heather Horst was one of his paralegal students.
I learned how to write legal memos, and both internal and external, and I learned how to do legal research, how to brief cases.
Horst was part of a small group of students to graduate from the paralegal program this past May. But to call her group non-traditional would be putting it lightly.
Well, I can just say I have been here almost a decade on a murder conviction.
Horst is an inmate at the Minnesota Correctional Facility in Shakopee, and she was part of an inaugural 5-person cohort of incarcerated students who spent 2 years taking paralegal classes within the prison walls.
I'm unbelievably grateful for what this program has done for us, not just for me intellectually, but even to my self-esteem and being able to know I'm a part of something that's bigger than myself.
As part of the program, the students not only took classes, they also interned for the Legal Revolution law firm to work on criminal expungement cases.
Being able to help somebody else get a second chance is profound.
A second chance is also how one could describe Horst's situation. She's serving a life sentence, but this program allowed her to show her family that she can still contribute to a society that locked her away for her crime.
To have these lawyers around them that are telling them, like, your daughter's making a difference, you know? It's finally that chance for my parents to be proud of me.
As for Woodbury,
she's sharp.
He's looking forward to seeing what Horst can accomplish with her newfound skill set.
She's got a lot of really good ideas and she's passionate about it, and I'm looking forward to hearing how things turn out.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
And another one of our favorite stories involves a Crystal woman who helps give a voice to the voiceless.
Okay, this is my missing persons page.
Everybody has a purpose.
Here is Janet.
Shalia Brandley Smiths is finding the lost.
I get hundreds of emails or Facebook messages asking me to share their missing loved one.
She runs Minnesotans United for Missing Persons out of her home in Crystal.
It spreads like wildfire from the Minnesota missing page. And the next thing we know, somebody's found. Remember, one post has the potential to reach 1,000 people.
She works as a helper.
If somebody's missing, we want to find them.
And a coach to families of the missing.
Pray for them because, unfortunately, I know exactly how they feel.
This cause runs deeper for her.
Shalia, you have 2 missing.
Her great nieces went missing in 2001.
You know, because we are used to compartmentalizing. Diamond and Tianda, Diamond and Tianda, Tianda and Diamond. But they're 2 different people.
They still haven't been found.
And that's what makes my niece's case hard.
Shalia channels that hope.
And we have so many, Josh Guzman.
Into her pages.
This is everybody's issue. Missing people have no color. There is no color restrictions, no race restrictions, no income restrictions. One thing about being missing, it don't discriminate.
It gives her a purpose that takes her out the door.
You got to put boots on the ground, people. We got to put boots on the ground, especially here in Minnesota. This was Barway.
Like in the search for Barway Collins.
Barway, please come home. Yep. I knew I had to do something, get the awareness out, make noise in the neighborhood. This kid could be anywhere.
A search ending in tragedy, and she keeps going.
It's people within the community that's finding the people.
For her purpose, helping countless others.
I do this with my own time, and it's worth every second.
And another one of our favorite stories recognizes a group of Crystal officers for their life-saving efforts. And as Rusty Ray found out, for one of those officers, those life-saving efforts come with a twist.
When Crystal police officers Josh Caston and Anna Futterer took a call for a woman in her 70s who'd fallen and wasn't breathing, he thought maybe he'd seen it before.
Unfortunately, it always doesn't work out the best. And with this situation, we got there and we could see that she was still breathing. We could see that we still had really a solid chance in saving her life.
The officers used an AED and kept the patient alive until paramedics arrived, and she survived. At a city council meeting in March, Chief Stephanie Revering honored the officers.
To me, it's another day on the job, and this is part of what I signed up for. And so, while I appreciate it, and it does make me feel good. It makes most of us feel good when we get those recognitions. But to us, we're just doing our job.
But what brought Caston to the job in the first place is quite different than most. In 2015, while with friends in Baltimore, he was robbed and shot.
The bullet went through the front part of my neck, it went through my right lung, collapsed my lung, and then it lodged up in my shoulder.
His recovery led him to seek a job in law enforcement. His experience brings him closer to those he serves.
Knowing what it's like, and then to kind of come through it, make my own transformation, it makes it easier to relate to the fact that hey, well, yes, right now you're going through something that might be really tough for you to go through, but at the end of it, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
And it keeps Officer Caston going on every call, in every situation. In Crystal, Rusty Ray, CCX News.
And thanks to those men and women for keeping us safe. We'll have more of our favorite stories throughout the New Year's weekend.
The Wayzata volleyball team won its 4th consecutive state championship less than 2 months ago. In the CCX Sports Spotlight from early November, Jay Wilcox profiled the Trojans' Hall of Fame head coach.
He's still in the heart of his career, but Wayzata volleyball coach Scott Jackson is about to become a Hall of Famer. Jackson will be inducted into the Minnesota Volleyball Coaches Association Hall of Fame Tuesday as part of the state tournament banquet.
I feel really blessed, lucky, humbled by it, to be recognized with some of these people that I consider mentors and such, and that the way it's voted on by your peers it's a warm-hearted thing as well, and I just really appreciate that people have recognized some hard work, I guess. And
at age 50, Jackson has over 570 career wins and will take aim at a 4th consecutive state title next week. He's been Wayzata's head coach since 1999 after 2 seasons leading Armstrong. He has the respect of his players.
There's nobody more deserving than Scott. He is an excellent coach. He is someone I will talk about forever. He's been such a huge part of my life, not only as a coach, but as just a guardian in my life. He's someone I can look to for things volleyball related, school related, friendship related. He's a great person.
Yeah, I feel like he always knows what to say to us, to motivate us in the moment and keep us there and really just pushing for every point. So I feel like that's one of his best aspects.
He is definitely a huge role model and inspiration, probably one of the best coaches I've ever been coached by. He's a great guy. I have a lot of respect for him, and I owe a lot of my volleyball career to him.
Jackson's also well thought of by his coaching peers, even the ones that his teams beat in big matches, like his close friend John Yunker of Champlain Park.
He's very good at relating to his players. He understands them. He knows how to get the most out of them, and he cares about them. They know that. He's a peer of mine, but also a mentor and somebody I look up to. So I told him when I found out that he got it, I said, well, it's long overdue, so I'm excited for him.
Jackson is club director of the Minnesota Select Volleyball program. It's been increasingly common for high school coaches to be involved in clubs, bridging the 2 groups.
I certainly feel lucky that it's worked out so well. It's not without a lot of effort and a lot of just reminding people of right-mindedness about this, and that, I have my foot in the club world, but when they come to Wayzata, they're a Wayzata kid, and it doesn't matter where they played club or even if they did play club. They've helped one another, I certainly believe that to be true, and just feel really fortunate that they get to do it year-round and work with families year-round and have a positive influence with some of that, not just in the fall, but year-round. So.
Like a lot of coaches, Scott admits he's more easygoing now as a veteran coach.
I've mellowed out. I've gotten a little more calm about some things. Not everything ruffles my feathers as much as it used to in my 20s or whatever. And you learn lessons the hard way. You learn lessons in a fun way too. But I think those lessons learned just kind of get you to level out as a coach. I've always felt like I've been a good players coach. Maybe not in those first years. I was so bombastic and tough on kids, but I've learned how to pick my spots and some of that. But I do feel like kids generally enjoy playing for me. They know where they stand with me. So
the wins and championships are nice, and they each are rewarding in their own way. But there's more to it than that for Scott Jackson.
I mean, why would I do anything for this long if it wasn't so enjoyable? And it's about the kids and watching their relationships and their growth in the sport, and watching how much a parent loves watching their kid do something. And those are all the things that lift up, an experience. And that's why you keep doing it. You don't do it to get an award. You do it, you got to have a higher vision or a higher purpose to it than that. And that's like to see the human factor of coaching is why I believe I'm doing it.
For the CCX Sports Spotlight, I'm Jay Wilcox.
Wayzata went on to sweep Edina, Anoka, and New Prague in the state tournament to finish 34-0, their second undefeated record in the past 3 seasons. That's it for sports. More CCX News after this.